Hi, I'm Jamie.
I'm Jen.
Welcome to our podcast, All Things Unbroken.
Life breaks us in ways we never expect, but God rebuilds us in ways we could never imagine.
So come hang with us as we talk about relationships, motherhood, wellness, grief, recovery,
and the slow, beautiful process of becoming unbroken.
Hi, cousin.
Hi, baby cousin.
What are you doing?
Hanging out. We're in person.
In my house. This is the best.
So we decided to come on and do a little bonus short episode because I happened to be in town for my niece's graduation and we're together. And literally on the way here, we're like, hey, let's get on for Mother's Day because it's Mother's Day weekend. So hello and welcome. Hi, Jamie. Dawn.
Hello. Welcome to my office.
It's interesting.
My recording studio.
You should have seen us try to do this with a phone. So this is very unprofessional, but we wanted to get on and really just wish everyone that listens that's a mother a happy Mother's Day. We actually looked up a list of all sorts of moms, and so I think we can go through them and say it. So do you want to start? We're going to say
yes, happy Mother's Day to all the moms of littles,
mothers who have lost children or babies,
adoptive and foster mothers,
dog moms
of grown kids who are moving out of the house after graduation.
I don't know why you're crying. You have a while for that.
It's coming.
Okay. You said foster moms.
Mm-hmm.
Really, even like, I have friends that are like moms to my kids that don't have kids. So thank you to y'all. And grandmas, just all of them. And we kind of wanted to come on here and just chat a little bit because obviously our podcast we started now. It's been, how many months has it been?
I don't know. We started it toward the end of last year, I think.
So not quite a year. And this is our first one together and maybe our only one that we are able to do. But this is our fourth time. This is our fourth time in a decade that we've actually been together in person. So there's been a lot of Mother's Days and stuff that I really haven't got to tell you Happy Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you. You're a great mom.
Oh, you're a great mom.
Thank you. And I think coming together and the things we talk about and getting through life, I think it like helps build each other up. Like
yes.
It makes us better moms because we have community and support. So
yes. And I think something about like having family dynamic as well. Like we're around the same age and we both have kids. I know the different ages, but being able to talk through that and me asking you questions. There's been a lot this last year that maybe I would have asked you. I would have asked my friend, which is so awesome to have that community. But we have different dynamics. So you can talk a little bit about your mom if you want to and what you appreciate about her and your memories a little bit because she also just had a birthday. So
yeah, yesterday was my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday, tap tap.
She's amazing. We have definitely butted heads over the years because in some ways we're very much alike. And I'm sure we probably sometimes even get, under each other's skin. But we have a lot of love for each other. I will say my mom, I think, is the person who has always been there for me. Even when I was going through hard times, not knowing how to make good decisions or just different things like that. She was a person that as I went through things, I could always talk to her. And I remember growing up in school and talking to my friends and I'd tell them something and they'd say, you talk to your mom about that? And I'm like, you don't talk to your mom about that? And so we've just always had that kind of relationship and we've just, we've made it through the hard things like you do in a good relationship. And she's always been there. I'll say she's a great Grammy. Anytime the kids want to go hang out with her or we want to travel, they come camping with us. They go on vacation with us sometimes. We're always welcome at her house. She hosts, she keeps us together. She's like the matriarch, like the glue. I don't even know what else I can say. She has a couple of new addictions now. She's addicted to golf and mahjong, which is great. So she was a working mom when I was growing up. She worked full time and still took care of the house, still took care of the kids, made sure we had everything we needed. And now she's retired and she gets to enjoy her golf and her mahjong. I'm very happy for her. So very grateful for my mama.
So if you could say one thing to your mom, and maybe you'll send this to her,
Oh,
what would you say to your mom? I mean, you just said who she is, but from you to her, like, oh, and this is, we didn't know we were gonna do this. If your mom is here right now, what would you say thank you to her for right now? Just doesn't have whatever.
I think I would just say, Mom, thank you for always being there for me. Even when it probably wasn't hard, you were probably shaking your head at me. Thank you for always being a person I could talk to, even if we didn't agree. Yeah, thank
Love
you.
that.
You taught me a lot of good things, and I'm trying to do my best to make you proud. So
You're doing great. You're a good mom. Jamie is a great mom. You've been a mom now for how many years?
13.
A little over.
Do you ever have moments, even at, how old is your daughter now? Almost 5?
She'll be 5 soon.
Do you have moments where you're like, I've been a mom for 5 years, but like, I'm a mom? Like,
does that ever go away?
No, it doesn't. Anyway,
so
tell me. Okay. So we talk actually a lot on the podcast about your mom.
Yes.
And history, and we've also shared a little bit about your motherhood journey.
Sorry, I'm trying to
so feel free to share as much of that as you want, or maybe favorite memory with your mom, or what you would say to her if she was right here with us today.
So this will be my mom's 13th year in heaven for Mother's Day. She passed a few months before our Mother's Day back in 13 years ago, I guess. So she was, I do talk about her a lot, but she was very, she was one of the strongest women that I know. And I know a lot, also it's Mental Health Awareness Month. So it's kind of, she struggled with depression. I think that some people may see like depression or mental health struggles as weak. Mm-hmm. And what I learned from her is that she's actually the strongest person that I know. I think the last time I spoke, I talk about her Bible and like things she wrote in there and how she prayed, and we did all the treatments and everything. But she was always very like vibrant and lively. She had a laugh that literally was contagious and the biggest smile. And she was always very like caring to others. That's where I got like where she did this thing on May Day where we would go leave baskets of flowers on our neighbors. And she would go and she was always there for everybody, is what I'm trying to say. And growing up, she stayed home, and she was the mom that like took all the other kids to school before and after. Mm-hmm. And then when I went into junior high, she got a job as an insurance agent. So she worked through high school for me, but she was always at all of my things. I was very involved in school. And the reason I bring that up is because we were just talking about my little cousin is now the treasurer of her daughter's pom squad. And it comes with a lot of responsibility. You don't think the meetings and the things. And so at this age, I was a little older, she was struggling with depression, but she showed up at all of the meetings for, my junior class secretary, senior class vice president, all the prom stuff, all the dances. She was at every single meeting while she was struggling maybe to get out of bed. And for me, that showed me the resilience of, I can do hard things, even though I really feel like laying here and not seeing anyone. And that's how I grew up. So in a lot of ways, that showed me how to be resilient and to continue on when I didn't want to go. And so I am grateful that even through her pain and suffering, she was able to show up. And also wasn't always bad. She was a jokester. So my favorite memory, I have so many good memories of her. She was just always up for a good time, and everything was kind of like playtime for us. And so I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that even through her darkness, that I still have like reminders of her in her journal and her notes of her reaching out to God and like showing me that in her own way. And I think it's taken me a while, maybe even since her death, to look at it that way. But I'm grateful for that, for her to show me that resilience. Okay, was that what you're asking? I always go off. I always go off on the rails.
What would you say to her as your mom if she was sitting here?
Oh, thanks, Jamie.
Well, I asked. You did it to me.
Okay. Say that again. Okay.
What would you say to her if she was sitting right here? What would you say to your mom today?
Oh, man. Okay.
I know it's a little different dynamic, but
I would say, am I going to cry? I don't want to cry.
It's okay.
I would say thank you for always believing in me and telling me as far back as I can remember that I could do anything that I put my mind to. and just reminding me who I was even when I was lost. And I say that because I even saw when she was lost that she was still her, even her darkest moments. So I would say thank you for, because as children, you mock what your parents do. So it's not always what you say. So yes, she always reminded me and built me up, but also it was like, I got to watch her live that. And even though she struggled, I still got to watch her still be true to herself, even when it was hard. So I would say thank you for being that role model for me.
I love it.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
So fun.
Thank you for doing that.
Together.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
Think of a memory growing up of my mom, and I'll think of one of your mom.
Oh, I loved in the summers when we would come, we would like trade off houses where we stayed at for a week, and I'd always come, and your mom always had like the best snacks, which I even, like she did. She always had the best snacks.
Mm-hmm.
And she always played with us. Like she was always playing with us, helping us with forts.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Growing
She's
up.
still like that with the grandkids,
Yeah.
with like video games. She
Love
has
it.
like a special thing with each kid, I feel like, and they do the sleepovers and the games and the things. So very cool. So I remember a lot of game nights at your house. But I remember one thing I loved about your mom was that she was so crafty.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one time we did like a holiday craft, and probably more than once. I can actually picture a couple of them. But I remember like we did a holiday craft, and she like bought all the things so we could all do it. And like as a little kid, I'm still very nerdy, but I was always nerdy, and I love to do crafts. And like she had this sock thing. It was like socks, and you stuff them, and then you tie them off, and it makes like a snowman.
Yes.
Do you remember it?
Yes.
You're laughing, but I loved it so much because I love doing things like that. And I was just like, wow, Aunt Kathy is so crafty.
She was so crafty. She loved painting. Like, do you remember you walked in the house, she like literally at one point painted a whole wall and put a fence up and like made it like a garden inside of our house.
I forgot about that. She would do like the techniques.
She's the reason that I'm very minimalist. I do not keep anything. Everything's very like matchy.
You know how you had all the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Did we mention that they were both named Kathy?
Oh yeah.
They're both named Kathy.
But yeah.
So we both had an Aunt Kathy.
We did. Well, except I called mine Tat Tat.
Aunt Tat Tat.
Why did I call her that?
Okay. I wasn't alive yet when that started.
That's true. So I know this is going to be short. So thanks for doing this.
Thank you for doing this.
So since we've reconnected recently,
Mm-hmm.
so really for, because I was with your daughter until she was about 2. I say I was around, but until she was about 2, I would say.
Yeah.
I missed about a decade of you being a mom.
Yeah.
And then for me, I would say 4 years, because she's almost 5, of me being one. Let's ask each other a question about each other, because how has it been for you to have us this last year, like being each other's lives, being able to speak about things as a mom? Has it changed anything for you, or, like, has it done anything, or just like, whatever.
Like being able to speak.
Yeah.
So, I mean, definitely, like I was saying earlier, I think our relationship, just having like women that you can connect with, especially like you said, the family dynamic, I don't know, it just kind of, it's like it takes a village, right? Like you have a community, you have another woman and mom you can talk to. And you were talking about asking things about, the older stage, but I can also listen to your stories about her being 4. And then I remember back, and it just kind of like takes me back to those moments and makes me appreciate and just remember like just how fast this is going. And like, we only have a few years left until she's a legal adult. So I don't know. Just
you're already emotional about that. You're already sending her out the door. She's already like, she's leaving. I'm like,
she's like me, and I know she's going to leave. Like, just
I know.
Not out of hatred, but like just because she's independent. So I think it's been really good and nice. And I would say like, when you don't have the family around, or like you have a family disconnect and then you're raising your kid over here, there were definitely a lot of moments that like holidays and like all the things where I'm just like, oh, I wish Jennifer was here. And then you had your daughter and it was like, oh, I wish I could be there. And it's like, yeah, you miss that. So it's nice that we are back together now, because then we can have that moving forward.
But we haven't quite yet. We've been together once with our families, I think.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more. I think for me, it's been healing, because for a while in between we weren't speaking, like I kind of forgot about our childhoods, and you've reminded me of things that we did, it's something about in that healing, remember ourselves as children,
Mm-hmm.
has been very healing for me with my daughter to
Mm-hmm.
like connect with that more. Like, oh, I remember like I used to, because our memories are around this age. Like I remember I used to do that, or whenever we locked you in the closet, or doing things like that, or remembering the things, because she's the only child. I mean, I have some that are in heaven that we talk about, which we can speak in that in a second. But like, it's just something healing about that, about remembering us as children, like Christmases. Like, what do I remember when traditions? Like, yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
When we first started talking again, I would bring something up, and you're like, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it makes sense because you've lived so much life. You've been through all the things.
Same with you.
And so it is. Yeah, it's been kind of fun to look back and remember all the times. I think we've looked at some old pictures of like.
We'll have to put one over here.
We'll have to post some of the awesome dresses that we wore in the early 90s.
Yep.
And yeah, I remember you guys came to visit us in like my first childhood house, and you guys had that old white Astro van, and you guys came to hang out with us. I think we had Christmas or so, I don't know what it was. And when you guys left, it broke my heart because I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that they could leave. Like I just thought you were there.
You were little. You were probably younger than my daughter is.
I was probably 3.
Yeah, you probably remember it because your memory started around.
And I remember standing in the yard and like bawling my eyes out, like I was heartbroken to my core, being like, no, and like chasing you down the road.
That's how she is whenever, in fact, she figured out that she wasn't coming with me because I'm here for a quick trip. And she was like, tell Jamie that I love her more, because she was, anyway.
She's met me once, and she loves me more.
And she's met your mom, and she loves her a lot. She actually loves her apple recipe that I make a lot now.
Oh, yeah. You know I never make that. I don't think I've ever made it.
Next time my house, I'll make it for your kids.
I'm not a good mom.
Okay.
No,
you're a great mom. You're a great mom.
I'm just kidding. Okay, what else? Let's see.
I mean, so this is going to be short. I really don't think there's much. I mean, really happy Mother's Day. We're together.
Happy Mother's Day.
Get closer.
To everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Ooh, I have one.
Yeah.
As a mom.
Okay.
And then maybe this is a good one to end on. Sorry, we could.
Okay.
2 things, and let's try to make it kind of like not, because I know we said it was going to be short. What is something, this is going to be deep though.
Can I just say, a lot of times we say like, this is going to be short, we're going to talk for 10 minutes, and then we talk for like an hour.
I know, but we also don't have time. No, so
okay.
We do have time. So I have a couple things. So 2 questions. 1, what has been something that you have overcome as a mom? I'm not done with the question.
I know, but I'm already thinking.
Okay.
Let me think.
You see, this is real life. We don't know. What is something that you've overcome as a mom that you struggle with, but then looking back, you're like, I did, like, thank goodness, thank God I got through that, and you maybe didn't know if you could or not. It's a good one. Sorry, there's probably more than one.
Specifically relating to the kids, or just
no, since you've been a mom. So something in your life that you've struggled with that has been really hard in the moment, but now that you're on the other side, like, okay, I can do this. Just something. Could be with kids, could be with yourself. Because I think we push ourselves. When you're a mom, you push yourself a little bit more because you have to, because you have something to, take care of, right?
That's a great question. I feel like I need time to think.
Okay. There's probably multiple things, by the way. There's multiple things.
I would say, I've been in different seasons. So I would say for a long time, I was working full time as a mom, and there was probably a lot of guilt about like just leaving them to go to work all the time. And then I would come home and be overstimulated in a lot of things, and I felt like I would be like kind of at capacity, but at the same time, like being a mom was like the main thing I always ever wanted to be. And so there were a lot of times I had to, and sometimes I probably wasn't great at it, get over myself or get over my tiredness. And even now, sometimes I get over my schedule and things I need to do and stop. And that shift when you finally start to realize, like, say yes to your kids, like it kind of changes things. Does that make me sound like I used to be a bad mom? Okay.
I think that, and here's the thing, and I want to be clear, because I have multiple single mom friends. I have some single dad friends. Also happy Mother's Day to the dads that are single dads and doing all the things too, right?
And single moms.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. But I think in any realm that you're in, whether you're working 50 hours a week, whether you're not working or you're staying at home, whether you're doing all the things. I think it's just that internal thing that maybe you have overcome now, where you look back and you're like, I was doing the things at best of my capacity, and your children are they're thriving. Okay. I just read something that her son wrote to her. I'm like, how old is he? Is he 15? And, but I think looking back, what you're saying is like, maybe like those were the hardest times, but looking back, I mean, you did what you could do, and it was beautiful. I hope you see it that way now. I mean, do you see it that way now? That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if I didn't hear you.
I feel like, no.
Like maybe it wasn't in the moment, it felt like so hard, but looking back, because you tell me memories where I'm like, oh, that sounds so fun. You're such a fun mom. That was fun. So maybe looking back, it wasn't as like,
yeah, I feel like there were just seasons of like I was just so tired.
Yeah.
There's certain things.
That's always, I think you're always tired.
I wanted to say yes more, and then there was times I would just have to tell them. But
mom guilt is real too. It doesn't matter where you are.
I think one thing for me, I'll say this, in motherhood and in life, I will say, no matter where I'm at, I always want to get better. I always want to keep moving forward. If there's something I need to deal with, I want to deal with it. I want to heal in this area or whatever. And so one thing I tell my kids is like, look, my parents weren't perfect. Their parents weren't perfect, right? And sometimes things will be passed down generationally, and it's our job to take what we were given, do the best we can with it, and improve upon it so that we get better with every generation. I tell my kids that all the time. I'm not perfect. Take what I've taught you and improve upon it, and just make sure our family continues to get better with every generation. Was that too heavy?
I think that we all as humans, if you're ever at a spot where you're like, oh, I'm perfect, that's scary. Yeah. Thank you for answering that question.
It's just a constant growing and learning and trying to be more present, trying to be more graceful, and yeah. Tell me about.
I don't remember the question. Get in the frame. Like, you're far away.
So something you were saying, like something that you've overcome.
While being a mom.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be an obvious one, but maybe not. So, if anyone's listened to the story, you know I've had a few losses. I've had 2 late miscarriages, and I've had early miscarriages since I've had my daughter. And the difference is the late is like when you go through delivery, you hold the baby, you're halfway through pregnancy. And that has been my biggest struggle, is to lose a baby and still show up fully for my daughter. And it's now been 1.5 years since our last loss of Lily, and not even a year, a little over a year. But I would say that I've done it, and I'm not depressed. In fact, this is probably the first time, in 5 years, I was literally either having a child, losing a child, burying a child, working, not working, doing the things, trying to figure out where I'm going to go, leaning into God. He's the reason I'm standing, by the way, because my faith has grown more in the last 5 years than it has in 42 plus years. But knowing that I can stand right here with you and like speak the story, not always perfectly, but I can speak it. And that I look at my daughter and she is so happy, and she knows about heaven, and she talks about my parents. She talks about her little sisters. Like you said, it hasn't been beautiful. I've definitely had my moments, but just looking back, because there were some moments I'm like, how, like I would cry and she would see me, and then I tried not to. And then I had postpartum and the things, and I was like, is it ever going to stop? Like, is it ever going to is she going to be okay? Oh, you always worry about your kids being okay. Which is going along with what you're saying. Always worry about them being okay. And, at this moment right now, like she is, and God has shown up, and there's been some redemption. And I think that redemption continues throughout our whole lives. I don't think you're just ever redeemed one time, like, oh, I'm done. I think I've learned a lot about myself, and I've learned compassion, and I fought bitterness, and I fought resentment towards myself and others. And I can honestly say, like, I made it to this side right now. I don't know if it'll be forever, but like, I'm okay, and she's okay. So that's been the biggest.
Yeah, she is okay. She's, like you said, she's thriving. She's brilliant. She's beautiful. She's doing all the things.
She's also independent. She also let me know when she's 18, she's ready to move to Florida, and I can visit her. So she will also be
in 13 years.
She will also be ready. So anyway, with that said,
you're a great mama.
You're a great mom. Thank you. Thanks for doing this podcast.
Thank you. Do you want to share something for, well, hold on. We talked about all the moms, but I feel like, say like Happy Mother's Day to all the single moms out there, to people who are missing their moms this year.
Yeah.
Do you want to share some encouragement for people who maybe don't have their mom or have lost?
Yeah, we can do. Okay, so this is actually this last week. One of the moms in my daughter's gymnastics class recently lost her mom, and one of my very good friends also lost her mom this last. So there's a couple people I know that within this last year have, and I was at gymnastics the other day and we were talking, and she asked me. She said, it's very, very new and it's kind of sudden. She has 2 little. She's like, how did you move through that? How do you get through this? How did you get up? And you know, my mom has been gone for 13 years. My dad has been gone for 20 years almost. And at first I was joking. I was like, I'm not very graceful, you know, but for real, like with that being said, with grief, I will say if this is a holiday, a Mother's Day that you are missing your mom, whether it's been a month, 6 months, 10 years, we are thinking about you. And what I will just remind you is that leaning and remembering that you will see them again, trying to remember, you know, the good memories. I also know if it's early that it can be kind of hard to do that. Like it's hard to just sit and be happy. And I remember for these holidays, for a lot of times you go and you see Mother's Day cards, Father's Day cards, and you just like, you almost do, you want to like just disappear and not see that. That's another thing. Like I this year I'm like, okay, like there's so many celebrations with graduations and things, but with that there's also people that are hurting. So we see you and we're here, and if you're not seeing the light right now, just take a breath, get through the holiday the best you can. There's no timeline for grief ever. And you know, some days it is just getting out of bed, and some days if you need to stay in bed for a day, that's okay. Just make sure that you try to get up the next day. And if you can't, then reach out to someone. The best thing that I did, I think, over the years was reach out, get help, have good friends, speak truth. Don't try to hide. If you're not okay, don't act like you're okay. You can say I'm not okay. I think speaking truth is really in any stage is the best. Because we all just try to go and act like we're okay, especially as moms. I'm okay. We're good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get up and do this. And then if you're missing your own mom, it's like, you can do both.
Yeah.
You can honor them and you can also say, I miss them at the same time. So,
for sure.
Thinking about you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. How about you? You good? I love you.
What else we got? I love you too.
We're good. I think we're good. Just wanted to get on and say Happy Mother's Day unless you have anything
Mother's
else on
Day.
your heart.
To everyone.
To everybody.
I feel like we might have missed some categories. Just know that we love you all.
Yeah. We just love you.
Love you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We truly hope this episode has touched your heart.
If someone came to mind while you were listening, please feel free to share this with them.
And if you have any questions or feedback for us, you can reach us at allthingsunbrokenpodcast@gmail.com.
Have an awesome day.